Today we are going to see about the basics of your electromagnetic field theory. Under this, as a first step, we are going to see the vector algebra and different types of Cartesian system. What are the parameters involved in the Cartesian system and what is vector component, how we can calculate the vector component and unit vectors, what is meant by a scalar and what is meant by vector, what is the difference between your dot product and cross product, what is the gradient of your electric field, what is meant by divergence. So using this we will be solving some basic problems. It is the first part of your electromagnetic field theory, and in the next part we will be applying three laws: Gauss's law, Coulomb's law and divergence theorem. So first, before getting into the topic, we should know what is meant by an electromagnetics. So electromagnetics, it is nothing but study of interaction of the fields. Electro means electrostatic field, magnetics means magnetostatic field. So it is the interaction of your field generated by charge distribution and current. Electrostatics deals with your charge and magnetostatics deals with your current. So it is the interaction or the study of interaction between the two fields that are created or generated by your charge distribution and current. Next, here there are two types of analysis we need to do. One is for the steady state field and another one is for your time varying field. Usually steady state field is the basic analysis what we have to do it, but slowly we have to apply it for your time varying field. Always our final analysis should be done only with respect to your time varying field, but whatever we read from module 1 to 4 will be dealing it only with the steady state field and what is the exact modification to be done for the time varying field in case of your application. So the electromagnetics has some applications. The applications that involve electromagnetics are microwaves, radars, antennas, integrated optics and fiber optics. It is the basics of your electromagnetic field theory. And what are the different types of coordinate system? So here we are going to see more about your three types of coordinate system. One is your Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. Before we see the different types of coordinate system, we should know what is meant by vector and what is meant by scalar. These two are the very important factors in case of the analysis that you done using your electromagnetics. Scalar in the sense it consists of only the magnitude. Vector means it has got both magnitude as well as the direction, and it has to be represented by the line or arrow. You can see here a vector. So if A is going to be the vector, it is having certain direction, both magnitude as well as your direction. So this is going to be your tail end and this is going to be your head end pointer. So where exactly we need to have the analysis to identify your electric field intensity or force or anything, that is going to be your effect, and the rest all other points is going to be your cause. The length of the line will represent the magnitude and the arrow mark will represent the direction. Now vector in the sense will have a addition of vector, subtraction of vector, multiplication, division. So here adding vectors, you consider two vectors, a vector and this is your b vector. The direction of a vector is shown towards your right hand side and the direction of b vector is towards your up direction. Now if I wanted to add these two directions, that is a plus b, so it is going to be your c vector. Now c is equal to a plus b. Whatever vector you are obtaining over here, it is just like a parallelogram. So whatever magnitude you are getting towards this side, same thing you can draw it like this. So it is just an example for your addition of your vectors. Next, it has to satisfy the commutation law. What is meant by a commutation law? A plus b is equal to b plus a. So a vector plus b vector is equal to b vector plus a vector. So it satisfies your commutation law. One more law is associative law. It is nothing but a vector plus b vector plus c vector is equal to a vector plus b vector plus c vector. It has satisfies your associative law. So look at the picture which shows a vector plus b into c. So whatever according to mathematical expression, whatever it is shown inside the bracket, it has to be evaluated first. So according to that, we'll first draw the a vector. like show this in the form of vectors. Here whatever you have inside the bracket, that has to be evaluated first, and later it has to be added with the A vector. First you draw what is A vector, draw it like that. Simply draw your B vector and C vector. First B plus C vector we should do it. So we have B vector here and C vector here. The addition of two vectors will reflect in B plus C. This B plus C vector has to be added with your A vector. So these two vector addition will be A plus B vector plus C vector. It is one form that is reflecting your associative law. Next one is A plus B plus C the whole vector. Here also you draw the three vectors, like however you are doing. A vector, B vector and C vector. First here we need to add A vector plus B vector. It is your A vector and this is your B vector. A vector plus B vector is going to be this one. Next, this vector should be added with your C vector. So C vector is available over here and A plus B vector is available over here. The net result of the vectors will be A vector plus B vector plus C vector. So it is also satisfying your associative law. These two, whatever answers you are getting in both the things, it is going to be same. There is no difference. Only the direction, everything it is going to be the same. The next one is your subtraction of vectors. Subtraction of vector in the sense, for example, if this is going to be your A vector and if it is going to be your B vector, if you wanted to solve it, A vector minus B vector. So here minus sign is for your B vector. So it is the normal B vector If minus sign is there, it is just a 180 degree out of phase. So the arrow mark has to be shown below. So it becomes, it is your minus. Then A vector minus B vector is this one. Now if you wanted to calculate B vector minus A vector, so A vector direction is towards right side. Since I wanted to identify what is my minus A vector, the direction will go 180 degree out of phase. So I have to reverse the direction of your A vector and it is going to be the B vector, and this is going to be your B vector minus A vector. This is how the vector analysis is done. Vector analysis is done to identify in which direction the field flows or in which direction the charge is getting moved. So in case of your electromagnetic field theory, basically both magnitude as well as the direction is important. Next is your multiplication of vector. So when you go for your multiplication of vector, there are two things. One is your dot product, another one is your cross product. Dot product is also known as scalar product and cross product is also known as vector product. So here the electrostatics uses dot product, whereas the application of your magnetostatics completely uses cross product. Dot product means it is defined as the magnitude of the vector multiplied by the cosine of the angle between them. You could see here A vector dot product with B vector. So here multiplication, magnitude of this vector multiplied by the cosine product will give your dot product. Whereas cross product is nothing but product of the magnitude of the vector multiplied by the sign. So if you are multiplying any two vectors magnitude with the cos product, then cosine of the angle, then it reflects your dot product. If you multiply any two vector magnitude with the sine of the angle between them, then it reflects your cross product. Then what is meant by unit vector? Unit vector is nothing but the direction could be anything, but the magnitude will become 1. That is, its magnitude will be unity and the direction of the resultant, and it gives the direction of your resultant vector. This is going to be your unit vector. Now the calculation that we do it for the unit vector is same in all coordinate system. Basically there are three types of coordinate systems. One is your Cartesian system, cylindrical system and spherical system. Cartesian system is also known as rectangular coordinate system. The ordinates of the rectangular coordinate systems are x, y, z. Cylindrical coordinate system ordinates are rho, phi, z. Spherical coordinate systems are r, theta, phi. So the ordinates whatever we have specified over here, we are going to follow the